The following is not a paid presentation of the We Love Brendan Dillon Enterprises.
Hey now, boys and girls, welcome into show number 61. That's right, the return of Justin Braun has happened. 61 in the house here. Welcome to the Pucknologists on Teal Town, USA. As always, I'm your host, AJ Strong. Joining me this time is Rocket Backhander.
I am a 6-foot cauliflower you call mama. Rocket Backhander, how you doing, kids?
Oh, my Lord, I'll have the broccoli. The hockey jerk has come off IR, people. What it is.
It's 5 o'clock on a Friday. You get in your car. You turn on your preferred musical playing application. You hear a voice that sounds familiar, but you can't pinpoint where. And then AJ says, "Hockey jerk, how are you?" And you realize, hockey jerk, he's back. I love that guy. How's it going, team?
We waited 2 weeks for that.
Well, you know what? You got to give the people what they want, as Vander Kane would say.
Hey now. Remember to subscribe to the cast, whether it's SoundCloud or the podcast platform of your choice. If you're on iTunes, throw us some love on there if you enjoy the show. If you don't, well, then leave us alone. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out Teal Town After Dark, following every single San Jose Sharks game. Occasionally, we have a special guest on there. We had Brody Brazil on there one time, and he made the show last 2.5 hours. We're still getting over that, people. It's your only live and interactive Sharks post-game show, and feel free to leave a comment for this cast or anyone in the comment section, be it on SoundCloud or YouTube, and we'll do our best to get back to you on those. And, of course, on Twitter and Instagram. So let's do that, hockey people. Since we last spoke with you, the Sharks played a whole 2 games because... Now, let me lead this off right now, and I'll try to do this in like 30 seconds or less. I have to offer an apology to the people that are nice enough to listen to us, because for the longest time, this show was always recorded Sunday night, released Monday morning, and that's the way we wanted to do things, and that schedule has kind of gone a little bit out the window this season, but my resolution for 2019 is to get the show back on track every Sunday. And as you can imagine, it starts this Sunday. But we're going to get back on track for you. So look forward, moving forward, you can know that the podcast will be available for you Monday mornings, if not Sunday night late, if you're looking for something to listen to late into the evening. So,
well, and you know, now that the NFL season is wrapping up, we won't have those jokers stealing our airtime either.
Yes. There was also so many Sunday Sharks games this season. So yeah. I digress. Over the last 5, the Sharks have gone 5-0-0, 8-1-1 over their last 10, 16-3-2 since the meeting in Montreal with Doug Wilson and PDB. You know what I'm talking about, people. 27-13-7 is the record right now for 61 points. Hey, 61 points for show 61. I like it. Second in the division, 3 back of Calgary, second in the conference. The Pacific Division continues to be the best, despite all the people that said it would be a tire fire. Ha ha! They played 2 games since we last spoke. Versus Vegas, versus Ottawa. The first one, a 3-2 victory versus the Golden Knights in Sin City. The Golden Knights would get off real fast in this one. In a minute 30, Noshik would take advantage of heat and a very slow Jones early in this one. Sharks would calm down, though, after giving up that first goal, but only managed 5 shots on goal in the second, and it took an entire 14 minutes before they saw their second shot of the period. However, it went into the net from Tomas Hertl. The refs let a lot in this one go, but San Jose would score twice in 40 seconds in the third to get their first regulation win at T-Mobile and handed Vegas their first regulation loss at home since November 23rd. This would also mark the 1,000th regular season franchise victory, the third fastest team to reach this marker. So, Rocket, what is your hat trick from this game? Good, bad, ugly, all of it good, all of it bad, whatever you say goes. I need your 3 observations, your hat trick from this game.
All right, my hat trick from this game. I think that the Vegas looks a little bit more mortal this year, but they are still a very, very tough team. they did a really good job, obviously, from the stats. You can tell they did a great job suppressing shots, and they know San Jose is dangerous when they have the puck. So if you suppress their shots and, then you suppress their puck possession, hey, what do you know? There's a chance they won't score. But that didn't work out so well. Let's see. What else? I dislike the Vegas Knights a little bit less because Ryan Carpenter is on the team. I like his style of play. I wasn't mad at his game. He's an honest player. It was a good physical game, but he's an honest player. And you know who isn't an honest player is my number 3 point of the game, Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves, you're a bum. You're always gonna be a bum. I will never forgive you for that hit on Matt Tennyson. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, and I think it was Ryan Carpenter that Hurdle took advantage of for that opening goal. But Hockey Jerk, what's your hat trick from this one?
All right. Well, number one, despite giving up the early lead and looking shaky, Martin Jones absolutely kept the Sharks in this game because, as we've known since they became a team, which feels like forever ago, Vegas has that quick strike offense that you can't see coming, and if you get behind, you're never going to get back. So to see Martin Jones keep the Sharks in, it's good in the respect that he has struggled in the first half of the season and now he's better, but also good because this is where games, quote unquote, get harder and are more important. Number two, the Sharks came back when they were losing. I know we've seen it more frequently since Peter DeBoer has become the coach, but that doesn't mean I like it any less. Especially a team against Vegas. Chances are Sharks and Vegas are on a collision course for the first round. Why not get a win? Why not get a win to set that tone beforehand and kind of say, last time we were here, we whooped you, so we're going to do it again. And number three, Melker Karlsson. Despite being dubbed He Hate Me by a friend of the show, Paul Cackle, he keeps doing things, especially in this game. I believe he got the either game tying or the go-ahead goal against the Vegas. So to see him putting the puck in the back of the net after everybody was upset that he wasn't, obviously that's a good thing. You want a solid attack from four lines, and I think too LeBanc being on that line makes it that much better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now why the He Hate Me nickname? Now, for those of you unaware, that happened to be the name of a player for the San Francisco Demons from the XFL, like, I don't know, 18 years ago. Why has this become a thing, Jerk?
I think it's become a thing. Now, I'll be honest, I am not totally 100% knowledgeable about the origin, but from what I understand, it's due to the fact that he's obviously not the most popular guy on the team, and it's kind of saying, yeah, I've got haters, bring it. You know what I mean? That's how I interpret it.
I got you. So for this, exactly kind of to go to what Jerk was saying, if the Sharks are on a collision course for Vegas in the playoffs for the first round, that would suck. So don't tell me that the Sharks do not have a lot to play for, because how great would it be for Calgary to have to face Vegas in the first round? Win this division, Sharks. Win the damn division, please. It's been a while since you've pulled that off, but I digress.
Mm-hmm.
After taking that victory out of Vegas, and actually, let's also make notice of a couple things, just a couple fun notes. This was the dad's trip where all the players' pappies come with them on the trip, watch the game. I'm a little shocked because the Sharks did not practice the next day. However, they did fly back directly after the game. How do you hang out in Vegas with your dads, not take advantage of the fact that you're in Vegas and that you're not practicing the next day? Fly back the next day in the afternoon. Come on. Have a little fun. Take your dad to Cheetahs or something. Make it rain. Remember, what happens there stays there. Leave it alone. Isn't there? I thought Rocket already mentioned that the champagne room in the visitors' locker room is amazing. But anyway.
Yeah, you know.
So the Sharks come back. And boy, if this one didn't have trap game written all over the hell on it, I don't know what would have. After vanquishing your nemesis in their own barn for the first time in regulation, the Ottawa Senators, like the worst team in the NHL, come to town. Burns would get a silver stick prior to this game for his 1,000th NHL game. Very nice ceremony and presentation done beforehand. The things that he was given, two of which I believe were antelope for his farm. So
you're correct.
Yeah, so there's that.
Let's see if the Ottawa, if we can see if the Edmonton Oilers can get away paying Connor McDavid farm animals.
I look forward to hearing the stories in about 7 years of how tender and juicy the meat from one of those antelope were when it was being passed around the locker room. But the Sharks win this obvious trap game after 2 huge wins over this last week versus Tampa and Vegas. Both of those teams coming in on 7-game win streaks. And this one, we would see the return of Justin Braun. However, Pickles still out. It was Marvel night at the Tank, by the way. Not the most popular giveaway in this one. So let me just give you a couple funny items for this. So the giveaway for Marvel night, I should say the fun night about this, you had Sharky in like 4 different outfits: Wolverine, Spider-Man, Deadpool, and help me out. What was the 4th one?
Captain America.
There you go. Yeah, how do I forget that? But the giveaway was this Guardians of the Galaxy goalie thing. And let me just say to the person who did this, dude, you're a douche. Because I get my giveaway at the front door, and I go in and walk around a little bit and proceed to go up to the carvery area where they've got a slightly better beer selection. And I get my beer, and as we're leaving that section to go back downstairs to the concourse, I notice at the top of the trash can is one of these bobbleheads just sitting there. And I'm like going, really? Like, if you didn't want it, then why did you take it in the first place? You know, just give it back. Or when they hand it to you, you can say, no, I'm good. Why sit there, take it, and then turn around and trash it? I don't know. I just thought that was silly. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. So Rocket, your hat trick from the game versus Ottawa.
I don't really have a hat trick for this game. I thought that the Sharks and the Senators had a little bit of unfinished business from their last matchup. Yeah, it's nice that DeMello, is big fish in a small pond out there in Ottawa.
Did anybody notice that when they showed DeMello in Tierney, especially Tierney, they got a pretty good round of applause, and then they panned over to Bodker, and it was like,
you want to know? To be honest, I completely forgot he was on that team.
Mm-hmm. See, and it's funny you say that, because if you remember when the Sharks played in Ottawa earlier this year, Bodker had a night to remember: 3 assists and a goal.
Don't they always?
Yeah. Jerk, what's your takes?
Well, first things first. That's the sound of me tapping on my bobblehead. I love Marvel, so I think this was awesome. Now,
give me a Sharky in a Deadpool outfit bobble. Oh my God, dude, those are going for $500 on eBay minimum.
Right. Well, okay. Hat trick from the game. The Sharks didn't lose. That's number one. Because as you said, AJ, this had the makings of a trap game. And the fact that the Sharks kept their streak going, and it's like I always say, if you're playing a crappy team, you have to make an example out of them. And the Sharks did that on this night. Number 2, Vlasic is still out. I know he's struggling, but he's still the best defensive defenseman on the team. And the fact that the Sharks are winning without him, I think that speaks volumes about the depth, but I also think it speaks volumes on their potential amount of games they could play after the regular season ends. And
volumes about Erik Karlsson as well, because he's playing a lot of shutdown minutes right now.
Yeah. And number 3, Joe Pavelski. That's all I have to say.
2 words, Joe Pavelski.
The man with the very many haters.
No. The man who is going to make the offseason very difficult for Doug Wilson.
I, for one, cannot wait until he signs a 4-year deal with the New York Islanders.
Oh!
Playoffs.
Wow.
Perfectly timed.
Yes. So let's get into the good and the bad and the ugly of this week in Sharks hockey. So clearly the good. The Sharks beat the 2 of the hottest teams in the same week while missing 3 defensive starters. The Sharks are number 1 in shot attempts. Really, you can say the good, the bad, and the ugly. This might be like the holy crap, this is awesome, the really badass, and then the, So anybody, either one of you, I'll start with you, Rock. Do you have like an, oh yeah, just like, oh yeah?
I don't know. I guess I could say that all 4 lines look really good. Like nobody's just having a tough time out there. There's a good chemistry, like I said, from all 4 lines. So there's at least offensive depth that way. Defensively, I still do not trust that package. Don't trust the system. I don't know what's going on there. It's like that person who always is like, oh, hey, yeah, it's so nice to see you. I want to spend more time with you. We should make plans. And you're like, okay. But you really don't ever believe in your heart they're actually ever going to call you. That's how I feel about the Sharks defense. But their offense, all 4 lines. Mwah.
All right. Well, you heard her. She doesn't trust Dylan's package. Jerk, you're, oh, yeah, from that. Come on.
If you don't trust the package in front of you, get tested.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're happy Jerk's back, aren't you?
I'm telling you, man, this is what the fans were missing out on. So my oh yeah, as they say. Martin Jones, since the beginning of December, he has lost like 3 or 4 times, I think. Save percentage well above 900. So he's finally getting back to that Martin Jones level of play that we've seen in numerous springs, hint, hint, the last couple of years. And I'm hoping that this is more than a hot streak. I'm hoping that this is a sign to come, because with how well Calgary and Vegas and all those guys have been playing, you're going to need a good goalie, especially in the playoffs. And every save is going to make that much of a difference. And so to see Martin Jones heating up, it makes me much more optimistic about what's coming next.
Eyes on your own paper, because I had that reserved for my hey now.
Hey now.
Oh, did you really? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Braun returns, of course. You like to see that. You always obviously want to see all your guys healthy. But since December 2nd, Martin Jones, 12-2-1 with a .920 save percentage, 230 goals, or 2.3 goals against average. 230 would suck. How would you even get a 230 goals against average? But 2.3, and that's even with the Chicago debacle where he let in 3 on 4 shots and was yanked after about 5 minutes. But 929 over his last 5, all of those in 2019 with a 1.8 goals against. So hi yo to that. Over the last 5 games, the power play has been at 25%. Over the last 10 at 26%. You got to like that. That's my hey now. Rock, would you like to give a little hey now?
To whom?
Anybody you like. Is there anybody standing out for you that says, you know what, this person, they deserve a hey now? I'm going to call that out.
I'm going to reserve my hey nows because I don't want to beat a dead horse,
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll get into...
Really?
My really...
Whoa, pause. I had a hey now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we got to you. Okay. See, he's not here for a week or two, and I forget about him already. Go ahead.
Oh.
So in true jerk fashion, my hey now will not be a hey now that's awful. My hey now will be a hey now that's kind of cool.
See, that's why I liked it. It all depends on the inflection.
Exactly. Words, tone of voice, all that stuff. I know the World Juniors ended a little bit ago, but Sasha Chmelevski, Sharks prospect, Barracuda moonlighter last season, had a really good tournament. USA lost in the gold medal game, but it was not for a lack of trying. Sasha with a goal and an assist to tie the game up. Unfortunately, Finland would take the lead right after that. But to see, him, one of the lesser talked about prospects, he was taken, I want to say he was taken in the 7th round. And, he's probably been one of the most exciting Sharks prospects to watch, both with the Barracuda and back with his junior team. And speaking of his junior team, he actually just got his 100th assist in junior hockey. I believe it was yesterday. So obviously exciting to see. I think depending on how the roster turns over next year, we may see him in a teal sweater, I should say a Shark sweater, for longer than we're all expecting.
Yes, I would like that. 6th round in 2017 for Sasha.
There you go. Not Alex.
Yes. And so to get back into it.
Really?
The PK, 90% over their last 5, letting in only 1 goal over 11 tries. But the PK, 82% over the last 10. So obviously getting better. But during that previous 5, they let in a power play goal in 4 out of those 5 games. But let's be honest, the one that we're really, when you sit there, though, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I think the ugly that we really need to get into here, people, is after scoring points in 14 consecutive games, the final 3 of those being multi-point games, Erik Karlsson has no points in his last 2 games. Is it time to trade him?
Should have traded him a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, if this is what you have to complain about this week, it's a pretty damn good week, Rocket.
Trade him. No, seriously. You're right. Yeah. He went bad, a long time ago. Just get rid of him.
No, is there anything you have to sit there and go, this could have been better? I mean, honestly, what can you say? I mean, it's just 2 games. They won them both. One of them, they again they won the trap game that they were supposed to, but then they also took care of a really hot team.
Sure. Yeah. I think what could have made it better is if both games were 12-1 blowouts.
Yeah.
You know, the Oprah games. Yeah. Or you get a goal and you get a goal and everybody gets a goal. Oh, I love those games. I want more Oprah games. I want every game to be an Oprah game for the Sharks.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Jerk, let's kick back, pour one while he tells you the bad.
So the bad, Kevin LeBanc, really? He only has 2 assists in his last forever, and I'm seeing the same player that we saw in the 16-17 season with the Barracuda, where there's just doesn't appear to be any interest in what's going on, and he's trying to be the one-man show, which is causing him to make crucial mistakes and get the team not where they need to be. Now, different from that, I don't think this is I'm the cool guy thing. I just think it's a slumping thing. So you hope to see it, go away. But at the same time, it's concerning when you think that LeBanc is supposed to be the quasi quarterback on the second power play unit, and he has since been taken off of it for his, like I said, 2 assists for his 2 assists in the last forever.
Yes. I don't believe this is a case of like Goldobin-itis, but he clearly looks a little disengaged. I don't know what could be
there will be no Instagram live of vaping. I will assure you of that.
Aww.
Maybe and I look at this and I'm going, well, okay, once everybody is back healthy, maybe this is an opportunity to say, hey, Chartier, you've been up here keeping the press box warm and turning the hot dogs. We appreciate that, but we're going to give LeBanc an opportunity to do that while you go play some games with the CUDA, and we bring up Francis Perron. Just
AHL All-Star Francis Perron.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, okay, well, there you go. See, we're all feeling so good, and then Jerk had to pour LeBanc all over us, and it just, it was so good up until then. So, we move on.
Oh, good for you.
It's time for the 3 stars. Rocket, who's your star this week? If you say Dylan, I swear to God. Even though he is plus 21 now at this point, I'm still just saying.
No, man, I'm going to give it to Logan Couture. He's quiet, understated, just deadly, and his game is nice. I like his game. His game makes me excited when few other things do in this world. Thanks, Logan.
Wow. It just got real, people. Hockey Jerk, your star for the week.
My star for the week is Brendan Dillon, because he has been playing with Erik Karlsson almost all season and has been an incredible player. You know, he's finally... he being Peter DeBoer, has finally allowed Erik Karlsson to run amok and do his thing. And Brendan Dillon is just like, you know what? I got it. Do your thing. Get 12,000 assists a game. It's locked down over here. Me and Marty got it. And on top of that, every facet of his game is better. Skating, shooting the puck from the blue line. He's not afraid to mess you up if you want to take an extra slash on the goalie. And I think Brendan Dillon is is the hero that we all deserve.
You know, is there? I know that there's like an award that they hand out at the end of the year, and I'm not sure, is that voted on like by the players, or because I know like the 49ers had, or the Giants, or probably both of them, they have some sort of like award that they only just the players vote on and they hand out, and it has nothing to do with how successful they were, like point wise, anything like that. It's just kind of like, this is the player that really kind of stood out head and shoulders above everybody else. And if the Sharks don't have that award, they should have one, and it should go to Brendan Dillon this season. I mean, just overall most improved, incredible consistency this season, despite whether being paired with Ryan, Erik Karlsson, Justin Braun, whoever it's been. He's made the most of what he's had. So, dear God, I'm sitting here espousing how beautiful Brendan Dillon is.
I was about to say, like, the following is not a paid presentation of the We Love Brendan Dillon Enterprises.
Brought to you by the Chapter Fan Club president.
Right?
So, my number one star. Now, it's easy to go with Brendan Byrne, or Brendan Byrne. See, I'm still Brendan. It's easy to go with Brent Burns, 1,000th game played, leads all NHL defensemen with 52 points. But that's not where I'm going, people. About 3 weeks ago, if you remember, I was playing this for Martin Jones. Because I was ready to run this guy out of Dodge. I was just so fed up with the inconsistency and the just giving up soft goals at inopportune times. And so 2019, oh my Lord. Right now, over his last 3 starts, a .956 save percentage, 1.3 goals against. I don't know if you changed your pregame meal. I don't know if somebody else is sharpening your skates before the game. Whatever you have changed, continue it, my man, because you're killing it. And you get that star, that's for you, man.
Oh, good for you.
It's your favorite time, Rock. And you better get this right.
Got it. Shark bites.
There you go.
Pizza.
I know it's pizza. He gets mad if I don't see it the other way, though.
Shark bites. Shark bites.
Will you play it one more time, please?
Okay.
Pizza. Thank you.
Now
We
that that's out of the way.
we can clean that up in post.
Oh, you assholes. Okay. So we got some news for you. Lukas Radil signed a 1-year extension for $700K. I cannot tell you how much I love this extension. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's too damn short. I would have taken 2 years on Lukas Radil. Jerk, I mean, you got to love this extension.
I do love it. It's always nice to see a guy who gets called up from the Barracuda make a big enough impact to A, push some guys out of the lineup, but B, get himself an extension. What we have to remember too is this is not a kid. He played some big boy hockey over in Russia and the Czech Republic as well, and made the decision to come over to North America, and it's paying dividends for him. He's got a regular roster spot playing with the best player on the team in Logan Couture, and he's got himself a nice little extension. I can tell you, 700,000 American dollars in Europe is very nice.
Yeah, and you got to give it up to, stick tap to the scouting department for finding some of these Euros over there. I mean, Donskoy, Radil. I mean, they've picked up some pretty nice pieces.
The real question is, I'm sorry to interrupt, does this signing come with an authentic jersey in your office?
I think it might. I think it might, especially if people are going to keep throwing me free jerseys. Yeah, okay, I'll get them personalized. What do I care? The Sharks also announced that they've signed Marcus Sorensen to a 2-year extension, an average annual value of $1.5 million. Rocket. I mean, this kid's got flow. Do you think that 1.5 is how much of that goes to hair care products?
You know what? I think he's probably a real simple person. He probably just uses a little herbal essence, something kind of light. He keeps a lid on it most of the time. So, as long as it just kind of just stays clean. And that kid has to shower at least 3-4 times a day. Those kids are just dirty, and then they shower, and then they get sweaty, and then they shower. So yeah, I think okay. How much does a bottle of Suave cost? multiply that by...
I bet you he calls it suave.
No, they probably have a different, like whatever the European version of suave is.
I feel like we've gone down a rabbit hole yet again.
You asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
Well, no, I got you. But it makes me wonder, though, this 2-year extension, is he going to have Joe Thornton to play with during those next 2 years?
Does he need Joe Thornton to play with in those next 2 years?
Jerk, you're mysteriously quiet over there.
Because Joe Thornton is never retiring. Honestly, I think Marcus Sorensen is like Radil. He's not a kid. He's an older. He's not ancient, but he's older. He has that pro experience. He knows what it's all about. And somehow he's getting faster every year, despite being the fastest player on the team year after year. Somehow he's getting faster. He's finally in the lineup regularly. I remember last year he was scratched and demoted and this, that, and the other. He's finally getting a chance. I think for him, if he can just keep his speed and keep his compete level up, I honestly think the sky's the limit. And, like I was alluding to earlier, if we see a Sasha Chmelevski as the Sharks 3C, or maybe a Thomas Hertl, who knows what could happen?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
yes.
now.
Yeah, and you make a good point. Sorensen will be 27 at literally the day after the season comes to an end for the Sharks. The regular season, I should say. So there you go.
We all know how we feel about the regular season.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Another note for Shark Bites. The Sharks have decided to offer a new season ticket option this year, which is quite interesting, called Top of the Tank. This is kind of cool. It's $20 a game, which I think is a pretty kick-ass price. And essentially what it seems to be is that on both sides behind the goalie, the last 2 rows, maybe 3 rows, you get this option. The details were a little benign. I hope to find out some more, or I shouldn't say benign, but a bit ambiguous. That it was, you get seats in the last 3 rows, but it didn't sound as if they were going to be the same seats. Like you might get a different seat each time.
Oh.
But I don't have a problem with that as long as you know that it's going to be in the top 3 rows every time. What the hell do I care? But even though these are quote unquote season tickets, it doesn't come with any of the 365 season ticket goodie things. Like you don't get the early entrance from what I understand, and you don't get the annual gift from the team and things like that. But at $20 a game, I really like this. I think this is a great idea from the Sharks, because this really is for the diehard fan on the limited budget. That really, this is really kind of like they might have well have just called this like the Rocket option.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have a lot of money burning in my pocket, but you know what? I'm there for the game.
Yep.
That's what I'm there for.
Yeah, that if I were still in town, I would have been all over this. Like, this is definitely right up my alley. I don't need all the bells and whistles. I do not need the white glove preferential treatment from the team. Just give me a decent ticket price. And you know what? The seats up there, yeah, you're a little far away, but man, it is not nearly the miles and miles removed from the actual sheet of ice that you are in other NHL arenas that I have recently experienced, which will remain
Nashville.
Well, I wasn't going to say Bridgestone, but since you said Bridgestone, then yeah, it's Bridgestone. That place it's terrible. That is a terrible place to watch hockey from the upper bowl. You are just so far away from everything. So yeah, like I love SAP Center. I love the fact that you can't lean forward. Like that's how small and intimate it is. And you need to get with that program. And if you're not with that program, that arena is not for you. Like that's plain and simple. It's the secret handshake to belonging to the SAP club. Don't lean forward.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I went on a tangent with that, but that needed to be said. Even if you're in the last 3 rows, hey man, don't lean forward because there's still 2 rows behind you. I think it's a great idea. There's more money for booze, man. So
hey now.
Yeah. And
see, that's the secret. You want people to buy tickets up there. You just say, oh, by the way, $5 beers at the top of this aisle up in the plaza level. People hiking it up there every game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is think about it like this. You speaking from experience, you walk your ass up those stairs and you sit down, and what do you think? Man, I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, just put a Molson keg at the top of each stairwell and you're fine. I mean,
I will enjoy a $6.50 bottle of Pepsi. Thank you.
well, whatever floats your boat. So we'll touch back on the Vegas game for a hot second, just because there was a little thing that went around on the social, what looked to be a staged interruption. Either way, they show the jumbotron, they show the guy and the girl, and the guy decides to stand up, take a knee, breaks out a ring, and what looks to be like a marriage proposal is interrupted by a Sharks fan flying in, acting like a goofball, wearing a Sharks head thing, apparatus, if you will, holding a Sharks flag upside down, of course, until he figured that out. And while it's funny to look at the reaction, because there's a portion, I don't know, 25-30% of the people that go, oh man, some saying, whoa, what a dick move, or oh, what a great move. And then there's the 75% of the people that are going, yeah, that's totally staged. My point is, you know what? I don't care if it was staged or not. I've seen so many of the staged ones where it's the guy walking off with someone else's girlfriend because he's not paying attention to her, or they do that with like the mascot or something. I've never seen this before. So even if it was staged, at least it was new. It was a new spin on the same concept. So I found it funny. Either of you guys,
I thought it was so funny that I had to watch it again.
I knew it was fake just from the upside down flag, but I thought it was a cute way to kind of poke fun at Sharks fans without being super malicious, like dumping a tub of popcorn on somebody. So it was pretty cute. What?
No, I understood what you were referencing.
Yeah, let's not be malicious about it. But yeah, I don't mind looking like a goofball in a shark costume. Yeah, that's the Sharks fan base in a nutshell, basically.
I really love your point about that, because nobody had, like a hat ripped off or something like that. Nobody had popcorn or glitter or toilet paper or whatever dumped all over them, which I've noticed over the last year or so. You don't see that with Sharky like you used to. Sharky used to do some stuff like that, and I haven't seen that done in quite some time. So I wonder if there's like a mandate from the league that says, okay, back off that stuff, because maybe other fans see it and go, oh, I'm going to dump my popcorn all over somebody, and who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
It is kind of bullying a little bit,
Yeah. But I thought it was funny, whether staged or not. It was a new take on an old idea. I appreciate that. So anyway, we move on. Oh, the Barracuda, what has become of you? I mean, 6-4 of their last 10, but won 3 of their last 4. After scoring in his first game with the Barracuda back on December 15th, nearly a month later, Antti Suomela finally nets his second goal versus Stockton over the last weekend. So at least you had that. I wonder if that had anything to do with the fact that they were all dressed up as Worcester Sharks. But the Cuda. Yeah, these guys, I don't know what's going on, because you would think that, I mean, Jerk, I know you pay some attention to the CUDA, and heads up to the people listening, we do plan on having our first feature with Nick Nolenberger, voice of the CUDA, coming up within the next week.
Barracuda.
Barracuda. I mean, what's happened with the CUDA as of late? Because it's not like they have guys, for a little while there, it was like Charche's up, Charche's down, Suomela's up, so there was guys up and down, but Radil has kind of like closed the shuttle door.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully they've still gotten some really good goaltending from both Bibo and Coronash, which is obviously, like I said earlier, with Martin Jones, you're going to want good goaltending, all the way through, but excuse me. I think the offense has dried up a little bit, and you see that. Rourke Chartier, who is probably the best Barracuda player in their history of that franchise, has struggled to get his feet prior to the Worcester Sharks game, and then even Perron has quieted down. Gambrell has quieted down, as you alluded to. Suomela's struggling a bit, so I think as a whole, The offense is just dried up a little bit, but they're still playing relatively well defensively, and I think that's why they are 6-4 in their last 10. I think the dam is going to burst eventually. I mean, you don't outscore everybody in the league for half of a season and call that a small sample size. That's indicative of what that team is. And when the dam breaks, all I'm going to say is watch out.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. And I'm really liking what Kyle Wood and DeSimone are bringing to the table as of late, especially what, as you said, Kuda not winning games 6-4, and so because it seemed like for a while, like every Barracuda game, they were like putting up minimum 4, usually 5 goals a game. So that has kind of petered out a little bit. So that's when you need the guys on the blue line to step up, obviously.
Yeah, and they finally have, last year was kind of a rough sledding, but they finally have 2 really good defensive pairs. You said DeSimone and Kyle Wood, and then you can put whoever you want with Jacob Middleton, and it's going to be a good pairing. And I think lately they've been playing him with his brother, Keaton. So, I mean, if it works, full send.
Me likey. So, let's get to the next one. Oh, that's the wrong horn. There's the right one. Time to wrap it around here, people. Just a couple of quick ones for you. Hey, we talked about it last show. The All-Star jerseys were released, but they are now out in the wild, available for you to actually see in person. Both authentic, at least the black ones, but now they're in the wild, the recycled things that they are. Your thoughts? Rocket, have you seen any of them in person yet, or just on the web?
No, I'm in Nashville, so I have not seen any of them in person. From what I understand, they are literal trash that has been recycled.
There you go.
Yeah, so just like the Sharks, they are literal ocean trash. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love the Sharks. They're great this year, but it sounded good, so I had to say it.
Of course. Jerk, have you seen these authentics, fanatics, whatever?
I have seen them. I tweeted out that they look like what they're made of, and that's still the case. I will say, seeing it in person helps a little bit, but I'm not too particularly keen on them. That being said, I've already purchased one.
Oh, you said they look like what they're made out of. I was just kind of like, oh, that was a tough one. I did get a chance to see them at the game versus Ottawa. Are they a little bit? I mean, it's hard to put this in words. Do they look better than the photos? Because let's be honest, the photos that the NHL put out weren't the best photos. Where like every single photo, they're kind of manipulated because they have this like water thing going on. And I get what they're trying to do, but you need to have solid photos of these things to try to sell them. When you see them in person, I go back to the idea of, you know what, they're just kind of bland. And a friend of mine that I was at the game with actually had what I thought would have been a really cool idea, because most people are saying the big problem with this is obviously the lack of color. Like what they got right was putting the crest of every team on the front versus the NHL shield. They got that right. But the fact that there's no color, not even the All-Star patch itself is on the damn jersey. Like, it would have been nice to have some color. A friend of mine said, you know what they should have done along with the, since everything is essentially black and white monochrome, along with the logo of the team, they should have put like an outline using the color of that team. So obviously the Sharks would have a teal outline, and the Predators would have a gold stroke around, a thin outline.
Yellow.
Okay,
yeah,
yellow.
It would have been yellow.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But each team, like Dallas could have had a nice forest green outline, and then you do the same outline on their numbers on the back. So I think that would have been a cool idea. But yeah, when you see it in person, you go, yep, it's just as bland in person as it is, in a photo.
Go, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we'll see what they come up with next year. But I do feel it's kind of disappointing where last season you had very colorful ones and you had 4 different ones versus this year where it's only 2 and they're monochrome. Okay. I mean, they kind of, my whole take on it. So most people say, well, it looks like a practice jersey type of a deal. And my whole thing was like, no, it just looks like an intra-squad between the LA Kings.
So when was this? Last week at some point from the time of this recording, Puck Guy 14 and I did a Jersey Jargon on the Teal Town USA YouTube. Shout out.
Mm-hmm. Shameless plug.
And I don't recall if I said it on air, but I definitely thought it. These jerseys remind me of those knockoff Eastern Asian Centennial jerseys where they were like just off, like so awfully fake that like it's not passable. And
the Goblin Shark jerseys.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about.
and that's the vibe that I got. And
the sad part is I think the Centennial ones look better than these All-Star ones.
Yeah.
I think the gray stripes on the arms, I think if you just splash some teal in there, I think you've got a solid sweater there.
Yeah, it's not bad with that option. I still go back. My favorite description of a jersey is always going to be the description I saw for the Winnipeg Jets third jersey, where they said like, that looks like the jersey that you buy at Walmart when you can't afford the real one. That's it's like such an offensive comment, but yet so true at the same time. So finally, the only other thing we got for the wraparound, is it weird now so because the All-Star game, I don't know why it took them this long to like start pushing all the All-Star merch. You would have thought that they would have been pushing this, I don't know, before Christmas, but whatevs. But you've started to see more All-Star stuff in the wild, like a button or t-shirts. I'm seeing a lot of t-shirts now, but the one item that I just made me giggle is the fact that they're doing a ticket lanyard when we've seen this huge push towards digital tickets for like the last 3 years. Like, so do I stick my phone in that or something? I don't know. You might as well just call it a cell phone holder.
Mm-hmm. It's a chapstick caddy.
Hey now. All right. Well, that went over like a lead balloon. Cool. So we will preview the next games. We got 3 coming up versus the Penguins at Arizona, at Tampa Bay. Currently, the Penguins are third in the Metro Division, 8-2-0 over the last 10, but those 2 losses did come over their last 4 games versus Chicago and their last one versus LA at the time of this recording. So while the Penguins are hot, they did just lose twice to really bad teams, which happens from time to time. At Arizona, they're currently 7th in the Pacific, 5-4-1 over their last 10 with a losing record at home. This game is in Arizona. However, the Dogs have won 3 of their last 4, and heads up, people, this is a national broadcast, so feel free to have the beverage of your choice because you will not be hearing the words Desert Dogs every 10 seconds. And at Tampa Bay, now, obviously, still the best team in the NHL. San Jose just ended their ridiculous streak while holding Kucherov off the score sheet while throwing a -4 at him. So over these next 3, Jerk, what do you expect? When do the Sharks finally drop a game in 2019? You closet Pittsburgh fan, you.
They are never going to lose again.
No, the funny thing is being both a closet Pittsburgh and closet Coyotes fan.
I can neither confirm nor deny how many closets I have in my house. But I honestly, I think the Sharks are going to keep rolling here. I'm not going to say that it'll be easy. I definitely think the Penguins are going to give them a tough task considering how well they've been playing lately, but I still think the Sharks edge them out there. Arizona, and Tampa Bay. Arizona doesn't have their starting goaltender. Sue me.
Nope. Yep.
And
who are they on now? Is it back to Aiden Hill or who is it now?
He got
is Kemper out?
Aiden Hill got taken for a ride against the Calgary Flames on Sunday the 13th. I believe he let in 8 goals or maybe 7.
So
I think it was 7. Yeah.
Was that the hill that Arizona died on?
You know, you're not wrong, because if you think about it, it was just, I want to say, what, 5 short weeks ago, that Aiden Hill was like the #1 star for the NHL for a week. And since then, that was like getting the best new artist Grammy. Like, he has disappeared since then.
How soon things can change.
Mm-hmm.
And Tampa Bay, I think we're going to lose in overtime.
I think we're probably going to dump that one in regulation. I think Tampa's still going to be pissed. But anyway, Rocket, I mean, how do you see them rolling versus Pens, versus Yotes, versus Lightning?
I think they're going to do pretty well against the Penguins in Tampa. I think that the Arizona might give them a little bit of trouble just because they are going to come out with some weird stuff and have some sort of goaltender from the ECHL that nobody's ever heard of before. Maybe it'll be a girl, who knows? And that's just going to really throw everybody's game for a loop, as it normally does in that scenario.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You watch. Arizona's going to bring like Mike Smith back that morning in a trade. Yeah, I think the Sharks should do well against Pittsburgh. I think that's another one. I feel like the Sharks, there's a couple, shall we say, monkeys on the back that they've gotten rid of. The last one, of course, being Vegas. I still feel like the Penguins stick in the craw for the Sharks, so they really want to take these guys. And then, boom, you head out on the road. Now, take into account, too, after this Penguins game, 8 of the next 9 for the Sharks are on the road. Now, granted, you've got the All-Star and the week-off break in between there, but still, 8 of the next 9 are away from the friendly confines of the tank. So we shall see, and we shall join you and talk about that next Sunday. That's right. Or Monday morning, depending on when your podcatcher catches us, but that's the way it goes. So
or Thursday if we're all busy.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we've done it. It is contest time. Ooh. So you heard me earlier mention that I found a bobblehead in the trash, and we're giving that one away. No, not that one, but we are in fact giving away a Guardians of the Galaxy bobblehead. It is not the one from the trash. I guarantee it isn't. But
Guardians
you're going
to garbage can.
Yes, you're going to think that it is. But that's why we made this one easy. So during a previous episode, remember, this is show 61, so you only have to listen to 60 episodes to figure out the answer.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. It's not that difficult. During a previous show, sometime between episode 1 and episode 60, it had been mentioned. Okay? It's been mentioned since, but used in a particular show. And the first person to tweet at Pucknologist, not Teal USA, at Pucknologist, if you answer my question, you will win the Guardians of the Garbage bobblehead. And the question is, I don't have a drum roll sound for this. The question is, what is the name of the goaltender that surprised Hockey Jerk because he didn't pick up the net and throw it at someone? The first person that tweets the name of that goaltender at Pucknologists, boom, Guardian of the Garbage just for you. We will slide into your DMs, get your address, and shoot that over to you. So with that, thanks for tuning in to show number 61. We appreciate it very much. Again, I apologize for the scheduling quirks. We will do better. Final thoughts on whether people can find you on the social media, Rocket Backhander.
Final thoughts. Hey, you know what? We're all in this together, and the more positive and of an attitude that we can all have, we can elevate each other and make each other happier, make each other better, make each other stronger. Also, we'll let each other know if we have spinach stuck in our teeth. Just the normal things that friends do for each other. Let's do that. We're friends, right? But not that kind of friends. Get away from me. I don't want to come to your Tupperware. Look, I didn't mean best friends, okay? I just meant like as a group, we can all get together and support the show without having to be best friends about it, all right? Let's just be realistic here. All right. My name is Rocket Backhander. You can find me not at your Aunt Sylvia's Tupperware party, but you can find me on the Twitter machine tweeting about cats and hockey. Sometimes Tupperware, maybe sometimes, if it's the only really good piece and they have a fun zesty lid. It's a capital R, capital B, little Backhander 76. That's our Backhander 76. And check out my photographs on Instagram. I took a photograph of a Tennessee license plate car in front of me that had a penguin sticker on the damn bumper. That person deserves a lot of shame. But they also deserve a hug because maybe they don't know any better. I just thought about it. Just be a kinder, gentler rocket backhander maybe this year. Who am I kidding? Photographs of Nashville. I'm a weirdo. Rocket backhander, one word. Instagram. Check me out. AJ?
Fatality.
Hockey jerk, what say you?
Well, the Sharks are playing probably their best hockey they've played all season. Definitely their best hockey they've played all season. And I'm hoping that is going to continue because too many years now, the Sharks have been pegged as the team to win the division around this time. And the last 3 years, they've let it slip away from them. And I think this year is going to be different. I know #OurFlames have been hot lately, but the Sharks have been equally as hot. You can follow me on Twitter at @hockey_jerk. I am the guy who goes to your Aunt Sylvia's house for the potluck and brings cups. AJ?
Solo cups or?
Oh,
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay. I am AJ_strong on the Twitter, on the Instagram. Final thoughts. Hey, keep doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm just going to keep doing. I'm going to keep saying that.
Way to keep doing whatever it is you're doing.
I'm going to keep saying that as long as they keep doing whatever it is they're doing. There you go. Subscribe to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever. Codcast?
yeah.
I want a codcast where you just go out, you cast for cods. But
They call those fishing shows, don't they?
I think they might. Subscribe to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever podcast catcher you use. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please, of course. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Tealtown USA. And remember to tune in with the YouTube show, Tealtown After Dark, following every single Sharks game. Thank you for listening, and we will see you all next time for show 62, or what Hockey Jerk calls.
I don't know.
Kevin
LaBank.